Preparations for a wedding among the Katu people in the village of Ta Lang in central Vietnam. The water buffalo is a present for the newlyweds. People here live close to nature and their traditions, like A Lang Lap.
Hunting was one of our traditions. I'm sorry when I kill an animal, but we live from them. Animals are our food.
He used to catch deer and wild boar. But once, he tells us, he trapped an animal he'd never seen before.
At first I thought it was a mountain goat, but it had very long horns. Then I told the other villagers and the village elder about it. He said that if this animal had white spots on his head, it was a saola.
The saola is an extremely rare bovid, almost completely unknown. It's thought to have lived here in the mountain forests between Vietnam and Laos for about 2 million years.
I dream of seeing a saola, and even if I got a glimpse, a 2-second glimpse, it would make all of this, all of the years of hard work, it would make it worthwhile.
Andrew Tilker knows the saola only from photos. Here at the far right in the picture, the last image from a camera trap. The American biologist has been studying large mammals in Vietnam for 3 years. Scientists first discovered the saola in 1992. Since then, there have been 5 photos. With his team from the World Wildlife Fund, Tilker works in the forest for weeks. They're worried that the world's last saolas could die in traps like these at any time.
Nobody knows how many saola are left in Hue Quang Nam or in Vietnam. It could be up to 100. It could be that we can count the number of saola on one hand. So it's really searching for a needle in a haystack.
These leeches might help him. They're a bit like thousands of tiny camera traps.
The leeches are feeding on these animals in the jungle, and the leeches are easy to find. Usually they come to us because they want to feed on us. So we can collect the leeches and analyze the DNA in the leech to see what they fed upon.
From the forest to the laboratory, he and his colleagues have sent about 20,000 leeches to institutes in China and Germany. In thousands of samples, no saola blood has been detected. What if the saola is already extinct?
Just assuming there are no more saola left, there are other important animals in the forest that are critically endangered, and the leeches can help us protect those animals. There's a monkey called a red-shanged duke. There's a tiger-looking rabbit. It's really cool. It's a rabbit that's striped like a tiger. It's only found in Laos and Vietnam. So it's not just about saola, although saola is kind of the star of the show. It's the rarest. It's the most charismatic. It's the species that's in the most trouble, we think.
That's why people in the region are being persuaded to hunt as little as possible. A Lang Lap's family get money from the government, about $30 for 3 months. They use it to breed fish and buy rice to grow as a crop.
It's not hard to cultivate rice. And as a rice farmer, I don't spend so much time away from home. But I can't earn nearly as much as by hunting.
How can you convince people to protect animals? The WWF staff visit villages and explain using simple games. The aim here is to avoid traps while blindfolded. It's hoped Vietnam's biodiversity will attract tourists to the region, which would benefit the villagers. The mysterious saola is now known outside Vietnam as well.
More than anything, illegal hunting and destruction of the forests threaten our saola. I'd be so happy to see a saola. I think of it as a family member. It must look beautiful.
What excites scientists like Andrew Tilker is a whole new species, a relic from the Ice Age, still completely unresearched. At 31, he saw a saola for the first time in the region's forestry ministry. Workers had found it dead in the early 1990s and had it stuffed.
When I see a saola like this, or even just saola horns in one of the villages that I travel to, it helps keep the image alive. It helps refresh that image. It reminds me that it's not just a figment of my imagination, that it's a real thing.
Tilker will remain in Vietnam for another year, then finish his doctorate. But he fears one animal will be missing from his work, the saola.